When it comes to smart homes, one of the first things people like to get is bulbs. And in case you haven't figured that out yet, we're taking a look at some bulbs here today. Specifically, the Merkury electric color changing LED bulb. But before we get into the details on that, I do want to say hi. My name is Carl, everybody's favorite ginger, and welcome to the Real Ginger Tech. Here, I like to do tips, tricks, and reviews on just about anything tech I can get my hands on. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon to be notified of when I release new videos just like this one. Also, hit me up over on Twitter at RealGingerTech. Alright, so let's get into it. Real quick, I'm actually going to be comparing the Merkury bulb to the two bulbs that I compared last time, which is the Philips Hue color changing bulb and the Fight Electric color changing bulb. So, a little backstory on this guy. I was able to pick it up at Walmart for $19.88 for a 2-pack. So that brings the price of these to just under $10 each, which is a pretty sweet deal. The Fight Electric, which was my previous cheap one, was $25 for two. So we're shaving another $5 off that. And then the Philips Hue is, I believe, a $25 per bulb. So it's pretty nice being able to have something this cheap. It's a great entry-level price point. And so far, from what I've been doing some playing with it before filming here, and I'm pretty impressed. But I'll let you guys be the judge of what you think of this. Let's kind of take a look at it here. So I am going to go ahead and just turn on the Hue over here for starters. Now the Hue, a little backstory on that. This is color changing, but it only has one temperature of white. So that was one thing that I felt was kind of lacking. An adjustable color temperature for the white would have been nice on the Philips Hue. The Fight Electric here is a color changing and adjustable temperature. So real quick, I'm just going to show you that. Tunable white is what it's called. So currently, if I can get these to show up here, they're about the same color, a warm white, about 2700 Kelvin. And I can actually take it and turn it into, you can see it's bluer now compared to the Philips Hue. So that was one thing that I was really impressed by with these Fight Electric bulbs. I do have all these set to 50%, just so you know. I'm going to go ahead and turn that back to the soft white there. Now, let's take a look at the Merkury. Alright, so I do have all three bulbs set to the warm temperature, which is the base for the Philips Hue. I did adjust the Fight Electric to match that color temperature as best I could. And then the Merkury Innovations is actually it's not a tunable white. So this is its stock color temperature, just like the Philips Hue. But looking at the brightness here, I would say, respectively, this is 800 lumens for the Philips, 850 for the Fight, and 1050 for the Merkury. So, and you can definitely tell a little bit of a difference. I'm not sure how well it's going to pick up on camera here. I will do a little shot sweeping through, or maybe just some side-by-sides. But definitely a little bit brighter. Only a solid color temperature for the white, which is 2700 Kelvin. A little bit of a drawback for me. I like something not quite as warm, but still, it's a great bulb. Once again, less than $10. Now, one thing that the Philips Hue had over the Fight was color. There's definitely more saturation to the Philips Hue compared to the Fight. Now, let's see how the Merkury stands up. So, here's a blue here. And once again, this is at 50%. We'll go to the office here. This is a very similar blue. Here they are, all set to a blue. Now, one thing to note about the Philips, it is definitely still a more saturated color, but I feel like trying to get that a precise blue is a little bit difficult. I'm not quite sure how well it's going to pick up on camera, but I feel like there's more color there compared to both of these, but it's harder to get that dialed in just right. And one thing I did notice in the test between these two originally is the colors do play or do act differently between the bulbs. So yeah, still Philips Hue with this pink effect going on here. Definitely brighter. I do feel like this is more of a neon pink, and I'm trying to get it dialed in to be more of a true pink. But these two are very similar as far as color goes, and they, to me at least, to my eye, they seem more like a pink. So, you know, kind of depending on what you're looking for, this does seem slightly off. And I don't know if maybe it's something with this specific bulb or what. But overall, you know, considering this bulb to bulb comparison, this is over half the price of the Philips Hue. This isn't looking too bad. I never really thought I'd be a huge fan of colors. I do use two of the fights for lighting up kind of the background here during the videos. But at home, I don't really see myself using the colors often. I do like to have the option of using those. And I definitely think for the price, this is going to be hard to beat. Some things about the apps. So this one here is the Philips Hue app. It has a nice color wheel. Gets you, you know, kind of your different tones there of pink if you just want kind of a princess pink. Or if you want to change it to kind of a neon green. Wish there's a way to get like a forest green, but that'd just be too dark. You know, pretty nice. You do have the ability just to change it to a white pretty quickly just by swapping between the two. And then go to the Merkury here, or the Fight Electric here. And it has that same kind of color wheel option where you can select what you're doing. Plus it has quick colors across the bottom, more of those common colors. And if you're actually in the tunable white section, you actually have recent colors down in that bottom right. So that's pretty nice. And so pretty similar app. The difference between the two is going to be, to get your saturation down, you would just drag it closer to the middle with the Philips app, versus the Fight app, you actually have a saturation slider. So you can determine how pink you want that. If you want that just like that princess pink, or I don't know what color it actually is. But, and then lastly, the Merkury, which I'm not sure how I feel. I kind of like it, but it breaks it down. So you, instead of having that, you know, broad spectrum, you fine tune the colors here, and then you can actually adjust your brightness separately. And then saturation, you also can adjust separately. So overall, I think this is a great price point for these bulbs. If you're not really using the color often, can you justify the Philips Hue? It's hard to say. You know, less than $10 a bulb is a pretty sweet deal. I'm looking forward to getting these put in at my place. What do you guys think? How many of you have the Philips? I know a lot of people have watched the Fight Electric video, battle between the two. How do you think this stacks up? I think this is a pretty good price point considering brightness and color saturation between the Fight and the Merkury is pretty much the same. Philips still wins with that color saturation. It's really hard to beat that. So, but let me know what you think down in the comments below. or hit me up over on Twitter at RealGingerTech. If you liked this video, hit the like button. If you disliked it, well, you know what to do. So, either way, let me know what you liked or disliked about it, but I will see you in the next video.